Apex Summit 2025, Brad Garlinghouse is on stage. Many people are talking about new information that Brad Garlinghouse said XRP could get 14% of Swiss trade. I had to look it up to see if what you said was true, and it is, as I will show you all the proof. Also, more news about tokenizing US Treasuries will be shared. As we speak, tokenized Treasuries go live on the XRP ledger. At the end of the movie, we also talk about how the Genius Act, which would regulate stablecoins in the US, is making progress. Let's take a closer look at what's going on in Singapore. The speaker, Andrews X, says, I've seen Brad laugh like that before. It was funny that the last time this happened in Singapore with Ross Lacow from the IMF before the lawsuit and everything. That's Brad on stage in the video below. If I had the money, I'd buy the all the money XRP joke coin. That's it. Wow, you need to do your homework now. I'm sorry about the joke. That being said, I think this is okay. It looks like 25 people in the crowd just went online and bought all the money. Don't do that. Let me in first. I was joking. What's going on? I lost the plot. And so they're talking about meme coins on stage, and Brad is starting to smile more. If you were at the event and saw this live, please let me know in the comments. Could you tell me how this went for you? RippleXDev says it looks like a great time. A lot of people seem to understand how much momentum will be built when the biggest economy in the world finally starts to accept new ideas in cryptocurrencies. This is Brad Garlinghouse on the main stage at Apex 2025. Pay attention. Business owners in Singapore and Southeast Asia as a whole seem to be a part of a deep energy that I find very powerful. I think this area will continue to do well and be a leader, and I think adoption will speed up even more. This is because many other countries look to the US as an example of how to handle regulations. I think a lot of people don't realize how much, after a long time, the world's largest economy will finally let new crypto ideas in. This is very important, and even better, finally, I'm going to make a movie about this because Bank of America is moving forward with their own stablecoin, which is something we talked about on this channel last year. I said that I thought banks like Bank of America would use Ripple to start a stablecoin because they already work with them. But that's not what we know. All we know is that Bank of America is moving forward with their own stablecoin. I thought they would surprise us with the technology, which I will talk about in that movie because I don't want to go too far into the woods. But I did what they said because they told me I couldn't find a movie about it. Brad Garlinghouse is the only one who said Crypto Jack at Apex 2025 after he checked the facts. In the last 5 years, Brad Garlinghouse said that he thinks XRP could have 14% of the Swiss market. I wanted to make it hard to tell if this was true, so I asked Brian Brown and your guard if they really said that. At the XRP Apex 2025 event in Singapore, Brad Gates did say in public that he thinks XRP could take 14% of Swiss volume in the next 5 years. This was reported by a number of reputable crypto and financial news outlets. After the event, Garlinghouse said that Ripple is focusing on liquidity solutions for cross-border payments. This makes XRP a competitor to the standard. According to the claim that all AI checked this price, I was interested in what the price would be. I also asked how much it would cost if Ripple could get this in a tweet, and the person said it would go up to $500, 0 cents. But when I looked into it, I didn't find any $500, 0 cents. I asked why and what that might mean for XRP's price. Keep in mind that AI isn't perfect. It gets its information from many places. That's something to think about. But here it is. Every day, 5 trillion will be sent by Swift, which is about $700 billion, 0 cents, or 14% of Ripple's on-demand liquidity option. More often than not, XRP is used as a bridge currency. Not all deals would need it. To keep XRP for a long time, when people talk about the link between volume and market cap, they usually think that 5 to 10% of the daily transaction volume shows how quickly the price will go up. For example, GPT analysts think that the price will go up by 15%. Around 15% of the 750 billion that are sent every day, or 75 billion, This means that the market value of XRP is thought to be between 750 billion and 1.15 trillion dollars. This means that the price per chet or GPT would be between $12 and $25, 0 cents. But some people, like those in Reddit groups, think it could be in the hundreds. It's hard to say. I mean, if Ripple is starting to get that much traffic out, where do you think the Swift system will be in 10 or 15 years? Is it going to get 30%, 40%, 50%? You should also know about stable coins on the XRP system. More stable coins will be made, and the XRP record will show the volume and value of those stable coins. These coins will bring value in the form of tokens, stocks, bonds, swaps, real estate, debt, and some kind of DeFi solutions that were also going to help prices rise over time. If we could use XRP and all of this other stuff, it's hard to say for sure how much the payment will be, but AI thinks it could be as low as $10, 0 cents, to $25, 0 cents, to $25, 0 cents, or as high as a few hundred. As of today, June 11th, 2018, tokenized US bonds are now live on the XRP ledger. This is a brand new post from Ripple XDev that says, tokenization is no longer just an idea for white papers and pilot projects. Instead, it will lead to new ideas in the world's financial system. This is what Ripple and Boston Consulting Group explain in their latest report. Asset tokenization will transform fixed assets into flexible, programmable tools that will make way for 19 trillion markets by 2033. Remember, if we can get a full $1 trillion, 0 cents worth of real value on the XRP ledger, there must be some kind of market cap multiplier, right? When people start to fear missing out, FOMO, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million can flood into the market. However, 40 or 50 million can change the XRP market cap by 10 or 20 billion. This is because some crypto assets aren't as liquid as people think they are. Also, a real dollar worth 1 or 2 trillion could take us to $25 trillion. 0 cents, $50 trillion, 0 cents, or 100 trillion. At first, we don't know how big of an effect that will have, but I think there will be a time when there is so much money in it that adding or taking away a trillion won't make a difference. Wow, this is really cool to see. It's clear that Bitcoin, HAR, and all of these other currencies today have the same multiplier effect. The real future is coming together. You can now buy and sell short-term US government bonds on the XRP market. This is called OSG. This is a big step forward because it gives more institutions access to one of the most reliable real-world currencies on the blockchain. This is made possible by Ripple's enterprise-grade stablecoin, RLUSD, which makes minting and redeeming RLUSD easy. My question is whether these big banks and other financial companies will also make their own safe coins. It makes sense that they would want some kind of blockchain system if they have a lot of value coming in and going out. It wouldn't surprise me if there was more news about that in the next few years. We're going, as of now, Ando Finance seems to be ahead of the curve when it comes to tokenizing real world assets. They have over 1.3 billion TVL